Welcome to another edition of Caps and Cards 716. I'm your host, Buddy J18, and I am joined today by
Hey, North Shore Fitted here. Today we're going to talk about Jack Eichel's return to Buffalo. We're going to show off the card pickups from the Woburn Card Show. If you guys follow my Instagram, you saw that I was there on Sunday. It's the longest running card show in the North Shore. I had some really cool hockey pickups. John has a Alec Tuck lot that we got.
Mhm.
And we're going to talk about what our thoughts were on that Eichel game.
Shoot 'em up.
So for my combo wombo, I got on my team issued practice jersey of Bisson, who's now a Montreal Canadian, I believe. And the team store exclusive Low Pro New Era Buffalo Sabres script cap with the goat head. Was pretty incredible crowd. I don't think I've seen the last time that Sabres Stadium was packed like that. Had to have been years ago.
I mean, give or take,
Felt like a playoff game.
maybe a year ago, another player we hated like Hall.
Now put in the team store exclusive Bill's Toque that I got out when I was on the vacation out there. Or not Toque, the Bill's Toque Sabres. But they go ahead. They're bringing it back next year, though. For those who don't know, they're jersey heads.
It'll sell fast.
Yeah,
It's
so
gonna be one of those.
Incredible game holding an offense like the Knights to 9 shot to no shots for the first 9 minutes. They gave them plenty of opportunities later in the game too. It was like 4 power plays in favor of the Knights.
3 in a row, 2 from Krebs, and then just kind of a cheap one there.
Marcia kind of cost them the Knights the game late in the game when it was tied. He drew that stupid penalty that led to that final goal, that go-ahead goal.
That was like the only time where the refs were like, "Oh yeah, you're not a diva here." So that kind of worked out.
Let him hear it when he came on the ice. That was pretty brutal. Still not as brutal as Ben Simmons on the bench of Philly tonight, probably, though. Philly fans are a different animal.
Oh yeah, yeah, but it was still funny because you could hear it the whole time. Every time he stepped out there, it was raining booze, way bigger than like when Briere and Drury came back. It was not like that. When Pominville came back, they cheered for him.
You guys won despite losing 2 defensemen in the game, too. You lost the Boston College guy, Fitzgerald,
and then
lost
Asplund. Yeah.
He blocked 2 shots and he got ruled out.
Yeah, but Fitzgerald's head basically hit the ice after that skirmish, and a little bit of a cheap shot there by the guy he was duking with. And you don't take shots after you hit the ice. That's one of the unsaid rules of hockey. As soon as you hit the ice, that's it. You gotta, no more blows.
Well, like a playoff game, they were comparing it to Detroit and the Colorado way back when. I heard the announcer say on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I kind of muted it and let our guys call the shots.
I have an NHL pickup too. I sent that Tampa Bay jersey off. You guys will have to try to guess in the comments down below who I got. It's a red team issued practice jersey that's non-contact. I want them to guess who I got it customized into.
Not ready, right?
It's not ready. I just dropped it off today.
Okay.
The other jersey pickup I had, it's a Canucks, Coho, talking about cheap shots.
Yeah, kind of show the bottom there so they can see like the wave. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's like a pattern on these. I don't have this era's Canucks hats. I have like the green, the traditional styling ones, but this is still a pretty dope jersey. For those who don't know, Todd Bertuzzi is famous for almost ending a dude's life/career. Matt Moore on a crazy hit. So cool jersey. He's also the uncle of current defenseman on Detroit, Bertuzzi.
Tyler
Bertuzzi, who was one of the only NHL players not to be vaccinated. He couldn't go to Canada.
I think it was the 2017 AHL Calder Cup champion. It was them versus the Crunch, which are the Lightning's team.
Yeah, they're local to you guys.
Yeah, Syracuse. That was awesome. We were at every game. We didn't miss one home game.
It's funny to think in a hockey market like that, they get down in Tampa where there's barely any fans, and then they come up to here where it's like Boston and Buffalo, and there's no AHL teams really around where I'm at.
Yeah, we have like 5 teams in New York for the AHL. And the teams just kind of bounce from Binghamton to Lehigh Valley to Albany to Binghamton to Ontario. And then finally they gave Montreal their own team, the Laval des Rockets, named after the Rocket Richard. And if you don't know, he's like the greatest player ever. That's why the most goals scored in a season, you get the Rocket Richard trophy. And hopefully that'll go to Ovi this year. He is now, he just tied number 3, Yager 766. And it's still quite a ways to 894, but I still think it's going to be a bit before we see that happen. I think he can make it to number 2, but still quite a ways off.
Something interesting about the Capitals now, because most of their players are Russian, they banned all Ukrainian, anything referencing the war in Ukraine, any Ukrainian colored stuff at any of their home games.
I mean, it's fair, it's hockey. You don't want any distractions for your players, and
well, not as bad as Tampa's policy on the jerseys in the lower bowl.
I disagree with that policy because, if you go to any other market, especially like a football market or something, like I'm sure you wouldn't go to the Buck Stadium wearing other teams' gear without at least a healthy group with you. So,
Tampa Bay, they're not. Other than when Brady was there, no Brady gone and Gronk being gone, most likely. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens because they had an influx of a fan base. So now they're going to be like, poof, gone. I guarantee they're going to be top bottom 10 in attendance if they still have Kyle Trask as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, like they're going to be like the new Lions in attendance, I think, kind of the Jags wise. And
I feel bad for the guy that traded Brady to football. He got season tickets for next year.
He could have had like 10 million.
No, he could have had $500,000 or no, like a couple million in his pocket with that ball.
I think so.
So the Woburn Card Show, there wasn't much in the way of this year's baseball. There was a ton of hockey though, and I got some bangers. So we got the Peck.
Hold it back a little bit. There you go. Angles. There you
go. Renee, it's 32 out of 35. Gold, blue, whatever you call it, refractor.
So the type of that card it is on the allure, in that little black box, it'll tell you what color that card is.
Allure, upper deck.
There's a black box maybe halfway just above, under the name, I mean.
Blue line, that makes sense. Cal Foot, Young Guns rookie.
I like that.
Huh?
I like that one.
Bjork, Andres Bjork, defenseman, Young Guns rookie for the Bruins. Jeremy Swayman, Dazzlers, upper deck rookie card. Marquee rookies, Trent Frederick and like a refractor. And it's in the Canadian.
Yeah, that's in the OPT.
The reason I like Trent Frederick so much, he was the first Bruin I got to see fight live, and that was this year against the Wild. It was a pretty fun game. Frederick got chippy with them on the bench as soon as they came out, and you knew they were going after that nasty hit on Bergeron. After we had a questionable hit on Kaprizov, so I like seeing his stuff and I like collecting his stuff. This card was a crazy deal. Went way down. Pink Prism Henry Ruggs. $5 card now. Probably would have been 40 if he hadn't been an idiot and drunk drive and done all that.
You can get an autograph for about $5 now.
Yeah. Topps finest. Ray Bjork. Rick Bluegarden. Bork.
The other guy, Bjork. This guy, Bork.
That's the issue.
That's the issue.
Carl Coleman, who's a center for the Bruins on our like third or fourth line. He filled in with all the COVID stuff, and it's a rookie card.
Nope, you're getting the like. There you go.
The red rainbow.
Yep, and it's a die cut, I think.
Yeah, cut. Yep.
Yep.
It's a cool card. He really stepped up when we had the all the guys on the main lines out with COVID. So when I saw that card, I was like, oh yeah, cool. I got out of the dollar bin, so.
I'll have to show you the rest of like those rainbows because Allure they have the NHL shields, the cheetah, the magenta, the leopard, the 1914 NHL shield, the 1940s NHL shield, taxi. There's like many different colors of those, and they're all dazzle. So it's very cool. It's a nice chrome set.
Yeah, super dope. This one I thought of you when I grabbed it. It was a chrome 97 Hasek gamer.
That's more of like a foil style card, but pretty cool. I like it. It's got like some 3D pop to it.
Love the goat head jerseys on these. It's like and Hasek was just being himself, and he's a pretty cool announcer. And then I finally found a Bowman First Chrome Connor Wong. So now I've completed the Mookie Betts trade in Bowman Firsts, which is cool.
I was just thinking when I was flipping through some of my cards here, I found a Bobby Dahlbeck first.
Nice. I wanted to reference him on the video for the lockout ended. He took a cheap shot at the Yankees. He's like, it could be worse. I could be wearing pinstripes today.
But as we're going for hockey here, so number 1 of Tuck.
Yeah, the rookie
card and the auto. And then we doubled up on these ones.
Yep, the blue.
A white jersey.
Mm-hmm.
A black jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's just a short print, which I like that it's out of his jersey number, 60 out of 89.
That's pretty cool, actually. I wouldn't even notice something like that.
So honestly, I really like that. His autograph, in terms of what I've been seeing lately, I did look at a couple where it had like pieces of the numbers where it looks like they look like dice in the numbers, and I thought about it for a couple times, and then I just saw like the 3-pack of autographs, and I feel like we got this guy, you know.
Yeah, we got a steal on him. Anytime in Canada, you kind of get a steal with the U.S. currency being worth more.
It wasn't much, but he had it listed at like 99, and I got him down to like $70. But you know, that 1.5 is kind of a big deal for me, so I had to use as much as I could.
Best part is you double the buying power. You always split stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a big deal for everything we're doing here. Sabres played a good game today. We got the Heritage Classic on the Sunday, 4:00.
They're off content.
And they're going to be playing in the Hamilton Tiger Cat Stadium or something like that. It's like a 4,000 seat football stadium. So that's going to be cool. The Sabres going to be wearing cream, kind of like take on the
Yeah,
70s jersey.
they showed him on the thing with the 3D Buffalo. Then they have the patch on one shoulder,
Just on the right, yeah.
the the right that says Buffalo. That's in the orange. They actually looked really good in person. They kind of, I thought they were originally when I first saw them. I thought they were kind of like a rip off the Blues Winter Classic, but with that cream color. But they added some extra details that makes it a lot better than the Blues one. Seeing them in hand now, not just a picture online.
Yeah, but 190 for a blank. And I mean, there's only one shoulder done. I think the Heritage Classic patch could have been over here, or even the Tim Hortons if they want to brand the jerseys.
Going to be on the authentics, like the team actually issues, but the NHL doesn't put any patches on their jerseys. Like even my Wild Winter Classic I have doesn't have the patch. You have to hunt the patches down. It kind of sucks.
Well, I mean, if you get the authentic after the game happens, usually they have it. But the one they did in where it had the Sabres logo and then it had NY at the bottom, like that was so unnecessary. Like we really didn't need that on the logo. Like everybody knows where we are. So Heritage Classic this Sunday, they're taking on the Maple Leafs. They're wearing the Toronto Arenas jerseys, which I didn't like the blue on blue. They usually do it in white if they're going to play with Arenas, and they usually stripe the whole arm all the way down, kind of like the candy canes. So, I mean, it's a little bit better than the Flames Ronald McDonald's from years ago, but, you know, hopefully Anderson gives them that shutout power again one more time here.
He was the goaltender for the Leafs a few years ago, right?
No, that's
Different Anderson.
different Anderson, Frederick Anderson. He is the current goaltender of the Carolina Hurricanes.
That makes a lot more sense now. I was like, how do you be an elite goaltender on the Leafs to end up in Buffalo?
It's not a long road, man.
I mean, you guys are right next to each other, so yes.
One bad move.
Although he has to drive by here when he's going to a real team. But I just like to say that the Sabres are a completely different team from the beginning of this season when they still had Eichel. They definitely won this trade, I believe. Because currently the Knights out of the playoff picture. Mark Stone's still hurt. They need Eichel to step up, and he hasn't been able to.
He's looking better, but I know he's not going to be able to play 23 minutes. He played just over 15, 16 today. He was playing a second or third line role, but he's definitely not the number one guy just yet.
Well, they have Marshall, so they also have a few other guys. You guys definitely got the heist of the century with that one with Krebs and Tuck, especially Tuck being from Syracuse. You could tell in the interview he was engaged on making that team better, and he probably made that locker room so much less toxic when he removed Eichel. That the guys are out and playing, they're just trying to win.
I think that he was out of the locker room for like a year and a half. After that injury happened, he wasn't even like showing up in the locker room or going to practice. He was kind of just staging his own protest. So then when he wanted to be moved, like he approached for a trade just before his injury, and then he got hurt, and then he was just kind of staying away. So, I mean, it's just kind of piled on after a while, and we just kind of wanted to be done with it.
I'd say it worked out for both sides. Eichel was finally able to get the surgery he needed to get, and and it's incredible for him to be back in the same season. When in the beginning of this, after the surgery, they didn't expect him to be back. They were like, maybe lucky if we get him in the back in the playoffs.
And that's the other thing, is that one other player in the league has achieved this surgery and didn't ask to be traded and didn't ask for anything else. The Chicago Blackhawks signed Tyler Johnson, allowed him to get surgery, and he's still playing for them.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation with players when they have an injury and they don't know what their future holds and stuff like that. Like the Antonio Brown thing, he is a nut job, but like he did have some type of grievance being forced to play when he had some injuries.
Sure.
But it's up to the responsibility of the player to try to advocate for themselves and make it so that they don't have all these issues later on in life. And
Yeah.
it's incredible how we're seeing players even step away from mental health now, whether it be Calvin Ridley in the NFL or Carey Price, who was just in the Stanley Cup, stepped away for a little bit to get mentally right before during the season.
Calvin Ridley did not step away from mental health. Calvin Ridley stepped away because he bet $1,500 and lost $11 million. Okay, I just want to clear that air. He is now the most suspended player in the NFL of all time, and that's over Ray Lewis, over
Josh Gordon?
I want to say yes, because Josh Gordon hasn't served a full season, maybe one full season.
No, but he's been suspended so many different seasons, and I think the total.
Yeah, but the number of game count, like they're looking at 2 years, and if he
There are
appeals,
other players in NFL history to be suspended a season for gambling. There was some guy in the 70s and some guy way, way back in there was some guy in the 70s and some guy in the 80s.
the reports were saying that he's going to be the only person to ever have been suspended for a full season for this. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out, because if he appeals, he can get slammed harder.
I am so glad the Patriots did not trade for him. There were talks of us trying to grab him.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for the hockey playoffs coming up. The races in all the divisions are getting pretty close. The Wild have dropped like 10 of their last 12, and their leads like disappeared. There's another team right behind them clipping at them. They just lost to the other day. In their division, the Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Stars they're on their way up.
Oh,
Actually, Holtby's a couple of games away from 300 goaltending wins as well, so he'll be number 40.
Yeah, he was the goaltender for the Washington Capitals, so he's won a cup. He was with them for a number of years. What was it? No, but it'd be interesting to see. Who do you think the Bruins should add to their roster?
I still think the Bruins should add like Fleury or someone who's going to add some depth to the center position. A bigger guy. Obviously not from my team, but
Fitzgerald, I wouldn't be mad with. He's a local guy.
Yeah, I'd really like to. He's still bouncing between Rochester and Buffalo. I don't think he's fully ready to go, but if you guys want Colin Miller, you can have him.
The Bruins are in talks to get that Coyotes defenseman, and they were talking about having to take Phil Kessel in the trade to do. The Coyotes want to do a cap dump.
I think Kessel could, with another change of location, add some potential to his scoring ability.
He knows our system too. He was in there for a number of years.
Yeah, I could see that happening again.
Good veteran presence to bring locker room. Makes sense. And the other one we were targeting was Marcus Johansson from Seattle. He played here a couple of years ago, and then he signed with you guys, and then he left to go to the Kraken. Or he got picked in the Kraken, right? The expansion draft. But no, it'd be interesting to see who we end up with. I'd love to see Marcus Johansson come back and coil, and then if we got Phil Kessel and that defenseman in that trade, didn't have to give up much. Like send him to Brusque because he wants out.
Yeah.
I could see that plugging in and being real good. Swayman's good, but they need some more help on defense. Beyond Bjork and McAvoy, they don't really have much. They're kind of hitting the goal out to dry.
And you're gonna need, if he's getting pelted for 50 shots a game, you're gonna need another guy for at least one game here and there. You know, you can't depend on one guy for. If it's 50 shots, maybe, but at 60, that's just too much. You got to rest him.
Yeah, they've been kind of sparing. I think they're trying to save him for the playoffs and keep him healthy, where it's like his confidence isn't like shot if he has a bad start or two.
but they also need to have him still like in that groove, like when the Sabres traded Miller to the Blues and he was wearing the white mask, and the second he got a painted mask, he lost every single game he wore that in. You know, it's all about mojo, man.
Him and Olmark have some type of relationship where they have a lot of rapport. They feel that they're not like in competition with each other. They feel that they're like a team. So when Olmark succeeds, Swayman helped him out by taking some of the load off him. And when Jeremy Swayman succeeds, Olmark's giving him some tips, helping him through it, keeping him grounded.
Olmark he's never going to be a number one. So like when we tried to give him that position, he just wasn't that guy. And I mean, he was good in the AHL. He came up and he just kind of fizzled out. He was just the next Enroth for us, or insert backup goalie here.
Yeah, I didn't like that. We definitely overpaid him for those 4 years. I think they thought they were going to get Rask back, and the Rask experiment obviously failed. Meanwhile, it's very incredible to see a goaltender be from the opening night starter to getting shelled a couple of times, getting buried behind Olmark for a little bit. Then they sign another goaltender, and you're afraid they're going to send him back down to the AHL, and he's not going to get back.
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's tough.
That how he came back, and he was mentally fortitude to try to make this run with it, and he's helped the Bruins climb from being in the fringe playoff spots to being like third or fourth in the Atlantic. Points are
they're going to have to stay at least in that third or fourth spot, because if they drop one or two spots, they're going to be out.
The only playoff team I don't like what the Bruins match up against is Tampa Bay, because they're our kryptonite. They've knocked the Bruins out so many years in this core. So, and Tampa's been playing pretty crappy against other pretty good teams. Another team, probably the Penguins after the Jari thing. If we played them in the playoffs, that's probably going to be a big deal. I can see them going after Marchand and going after Bergeron and a few other players. And then I could see us going after Sid or Malkin, or that's the only other game I wouldn't match up with us in the playoffs.
I mean, Washington plays your style, but I don't know if you want to really be going up against Ovi if he starts getting on a tear.
Yeah, but then they don't have a goaltender. They might as well have me or you out there. You get shelled all. That game against the Oilers showed it that both teams need a goaltender. And at least the Oilers goaltender's honest and tells you he sucks.
Right.
He's like, I came out of retirement for this. It's the best. They're getting paid to let goals in left and right and get yelled at.
Mike Smith.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, that was Mike Smith who said, I let a goal in every 5 shots and I just yell at the defense, and who am I to blame? I make $4 million a year.
Yeah, but hockey's heating up. It's this best time of year for like the playoff hockey. There's nothing else like it. It's that same goosebump feeling as October baseball, as Super Bowl Sunday. But with every team with hockey, because you can sense the electric in the arena. The Raleigh towel in the back is from a playoff game when they played against Columbus Blue Jackets. And Charlie Coyle, who's from Boston, tied it and then hit the overtime goal. And the whole guard went nuts. And that was a pivotal game in that series because we were down 2-1. We would have been going to Columbus facing elimination. But we tied up the series and moved on. And that year we went to the Stanley Cup against the Blues and lost.
Yep, that was the Ryan O'Reilly year.
A lot of good players and stuff.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Yeah. All right. So cards and caps.
Yeah. As usual, guys.
Peace.
Love and caps.